Monday, January 28th, 2013, and this is the StephenBlakesley.com podcast. On today's podcast, we will talk to Virginia's Sergio Pena, who will move to the West Coast to drive for Bill McAnally Racing for the 2013 NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series West title. But first, we'll take a look at the racing news from this week. This week was light on racing news, but was headlined by the signing of Sergio Pena. Pena will drive the famed number 16 Napa Auto Parts Toyota this season for Roseville-based Bill McAnally Racing. A possible teammate for Pena has not yet been announced. Ocean Speedway's Ocean Sprint Cars will have a new back road challenge in 2013, sponsored by Noble Construction. At any Taco Bravo points race this season, the fast time qualifier will have the option to start at the rear of the field for the main event. If that driver can get the win from the back, they will pick up a $1,500 bonus on top of the regular purse money. California Sprint Car drivers had some big success this weekend in Australia against a nearly 100-car turnout for 410 sprint cars at SunGold Stadium Premier Speedway. Our 2012 California Power Pole winner Tim Kading won the preliminary main event for the 41st annual Sprint Car Classic, and he came home fourth in the finale, while Rico Abreu charged from 18th to finish 7th in the finale to win Hard Charger honors. The Canyon Speedway Park Winter Challenge for USAC Sprints has been a rainy affair, with the first 3 nights all rained out. The events are scheduled to continue on Wednesday through Saturday, with a twin main event being planned for Saturday as a makeup. An all-star field of drivers has assembled in Arizona, including Brian Clausen, 2012 360 champion Bud Kading, and the Rockland Rocket Robert Ballou, among others. When we come back to the StephenBlakesley.com podcast, we'll talk to Sergio Pena about his 2013 efforts with Bill McAnally Racing. But first, a look at our sponsors. StephenBlakesley.com is brought to you by MotoWear International. Throughout the world of racing, there is a common thread. MotoWear, online at MotoWear.com. And also brought to you by Matt Jackson at Proline Pit Carts, promoter of the Toyota Southwest Superlates, racing at Speedway Willow Springs on the road course in 2013. For more information, visit swsracing.com. And we're back on the StephenBlakesley.com podcast, and we're talking to Sergio Pena, who will drive for Bill McAnally Racing in the 2013 NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series West. And Sergio, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to get my first interview this season racing for Bill McAnally.
And when we gave you a call this afternoon, it turns out you're moving out here to Sacramento. And, that's a pretty big move to take that leap and go back to West Coast racing. And what are your thoughts going into this season?
Yeah, it is a big deal. I actually have been living down here in Radford, Virginia with 3 of my best friends that I grew up with, and been going to college down here. I'm a sophomore now, and now that this deal came through with Bill McAnally, learning out west is going to be so difficult to keep up with school and all that. I've been able to do it my whole life, but I think traveling back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast so much, it's going to put a toll on my schoolwork. So I'm going to take the year off of school and move out to Sacramento. I'm going to work in the shop with all the guys, get to build a relationship with all of them, and I think that'll just be the best for my racing.
So, Sergio, I know you've raced Toyotas for a while, running with the Drive for Diversity program and with Hattori Racing Enterprises, and, of course, Bill McAnally Racing is also a Toyota team. Was the Toyota connection part of how this all came together? Can you tell us how it came together?
Yeah, well, Toyota really didn't have a whole lot to do with it. I guess it's just kind of an added bonus. I really love racing for Toyota. They're great people to work with, and they always treat me really well, so that's great. But it's a kind of a crazy way how this all kind of got put together. My crew chief for the past 2 years has been Matt Ghostland, and he was champion crew chief out west for Bill McAnally with Eric Holmes. So I met Bill that way. I met Eric through them too, and just had a great relationship with them for the past couple of years. And I never thought that one day I'd be out here racing for him. But I guess, at the end of this year, I was racing for Shiggy Hattori, and I didn't have any plans for next year. Kind of getting down to the wire of everyone was figuring out what they were doing, and I had nothing going. And my dad and I and Bill, we all just kind of kept talking, and the more we kept talking, the more of a reality it seemed that I could actually end up driving for him. So just really blessed to have this opportunity. I'm really excited.
We're on the phone with 19-year-old Sergio Pena, who's moving west to drive for Bill McAnally Racing. And I know there's a lot of people that know your name from when you made your big splash in the 2010 All-Star Showdown. Can we take a few steps back? I think for a lot of people, even for me, we don't really know your racing history before you arrived in the K&N Series. Can you tell us a little bit about your racing career?
Yeah, absolutely. I started racing. What got me into racing was my dad. He grew up in Colombia, where he was born in South America, and he was a two-time dirt bike champion down there. He was really good on dirt bikes. So when I was really little, I think I was 4 years old, I was on a dirt bike with training wheels, learning how to jump and do all that stuff. But one day I took a jump too big, and my dad was afraid I was going to hurt myself. So we got rid of the dirt bike, put that motor on a go-kart, and just started doing two-cycle go-kart, and it was all on road courses. So I did series like WKA, Stars of Karting, all that kind of stuff. And it's something I kind of just wanted to do for fun, and we actually ended up doing better than we thought we would. So took it a little bit more serious and raced at the national levels. And when I was 13, I moved up to Formula cars. I did it's called the Formula TR Press Series. There's also a series that was based out of California. And I did that for a year, and again, all on road courses. I never thought about doing ovals. My dream was to be a Formula One driver. And I'm 6'3" right now, so the dream of being an F1 driver kind of went out the window when I hit my growth spurt there. So one of our good friends told us about the Drive for Diversity program for NASCAR, and we thought that was a great opportunity. We didn't have any money to race anything above the Formula cars or the go-karts. Running late models was going to be so expensive, so we did like a partial season of late models at Shenandoah Speedway to get some experience on the ovals, and then applied for the Drive for Diversity Combine and got picked up from there. So it's a pretty unique story. I started on road courses, and then I'm just a beginner at these ovals, so I'm trying to learn them as fast as I can.
And your 2010 season was kind of interesting to me because you came out of the gate with that really impressive performance at the All-Star Showdown against Joey Logano in that race-long duel for the lead. But the season for you was kind of a little bit of a struggle. What was that season like for you going into that with all those high expectations? That had to be a tough year for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. The showdown out there racing with Joey Logano and, all those guys that were in there. I think David Gilliland, Matt Kodaluk, so many big names there. It was it didn't even hit me until the year was over that, wow, that showdown was huge, and I didn't really even realize it. I don't think I had done 10 oval races before I had done that race. So to be able to race with Logano was just amazing. Learned so much. The season didn't go as expected after that race. We had a lot of dumb mistakes on my part. It's because it's such a huge learning curve, I came from racing the open wheel road course cars that weighed 900 pounds to these, 3,200 pound, 600 plus horsepower cars. It is a huge, huge learning curve. And, I think I adapted okay. The results weren't there, but the next year, I took everything that I learned from that year that we struggled and was able to do a couple wins there. So that was pretty good.
And now you look forward to where we are now, and you're heading into the K&N Series. You're kind of going to be a veteran, if you will, on this West Series. It'll be your fourth season. How important do you think the experience you have in this series, how much is that going to benefit you this year?
Yeah, I actually had someone tell me the other day that, I'm going to be one of the veterans, and it sounds so crazy just because, like we were talking about, I have so little experience on the ovals. And I'm only 19 years old. I'll be 20 next month. So, but if you look at the drivers, and it's true, I will be one of the veterans here as my fourth continuing season. I think that's going to be huge. There's a lot of rookies, just like I was in 2010, that are going to be making some mistakes and learning, and that's just part of it. That's part of racing. You're going to make some mistakes, and it's going to take some time to learn. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So, I'm going to take all this experience that I've had for the past 3 years in the E Series and bring it out here to Bill McAnally Racing. I'll be running the number 16 Napa car, which is amazing. So if I can, with the experience that Bill McAnally's team has and the 3 years that I've had in the E Series, I think it's going to be a great combination. And, we're focused on nothing but winning the championship.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you're definitely, I think, the youngest driver that has ever had the opportunity to drive in that premier Napa car out here on the West Coast, and those are some big shoes to fill. If you look at the K&N East Series versus the K&N West Series, I think it's safe to say that the biggest differences are the emphasis on road courses and short tracks out here on the West Coast. Do you think with your background in the Formula cars that you'll have a real advantage on those road courses?
Absolutely. That's something I'm so excited about. One of the things I'm looking forward to most this year are Brainerd, Miller, and Infineon. The 3 road courses are going to be awesome. We did one road course my first year in the East Series. We went to Lime Rock, and I had a blast racing these cars. There's so much power I wasn't used to on a road course. But that's definitely, I think I'm going to have a look up on them. I raced road courses for 8 or 9 years, and I can't wait to get started on those. I think, I think we'll have them covered there. Hopefully, I know some of the Cup guys will run like Sonoma, and these guys the guys that have run the West Series for a while have had a lot of laps on these tracks in these cars. So by no means is it going to be easy, but those are definitely some of the races I'm looking forward to the most.
And if you look at all your experience, and you've had a lot of great runs over the years, but not necessarily had the success in the points, I have to think that going into this season, that your expectations are that you guys could possibly win this title.
Absolutely. It is no secret that we've kind of struggled in the points. I think the best I did was 2011. I finished 5th in the East points. Last year was really up and down here. We were super fast, and the worst luck you could possibly imagine. I hate to blame things on luck, but there's just no other way of looking at it. We had motors blowing up when we were leading, and electrical failures, and not to take anything off myself, there were times where I made some stupid mistakes passing. I remember I was passing Darrell Ross Jr. for 3rd at Columbus and ended up spinning myself out to Woodard X. So just a lot of dumb mistakes and things that we really couldn't help. But we have a real chance to win this championship, and to win a NASCAR championship would just be something that I never thought I would be doing at 19 years old. It's really humbling to think about that. And just, not too many drivers get the chance to compete on such a top-notch team like Bill McAnally Racing. It's going to be an awesome year. Really looking forward to it. I was actually out in California for the past week, meeting all the guys and hanging out at the shop, getting to know everybody, and everyone out there is so excited. So I can't wait to get started.
And the last thing I want to ask you is, you guys have talked a little bit in your press releases and everything that you're planning to run some stuff in the East Series as well, I believe, in Bill McAnally equipment. Now, are you guys going to start the year out at Daytona, and do you guys kind of know what races you're planning on doing?
Yeah, we were gonna do the Daytona race, but then this deal just got put together last week. So it's just really late to get that started. So we're not going to be running Daytona, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll be running the full West season, and then as of right now, we have one of the Greenville Pickens races, and there's one of the Greenville Pickens races, and then Columbus we're going to do for sure. Oh no, I'm sorry, not the Pensacola race. I think it's 7 flags, and then Columbus we'll definitely do for sure. We're looking at doing Greenville also, and then since I'm so excited about the road course stuff, we were just talking to Bill about possibly doing Road Atlanta. That's something I think would be an amazing race. So, hopefully we'll be able to pull out the full West season and 4 East races. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, Sergio, a lot of people out here on the West Coast are very excited that you're coming our way, and it's exciting to learn that you're going to move out here to Sacramento. We want to thank you for coming on to the radio show, and good luck this year.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm excited, I'd love to be back on here anytime. I really appreciate, you giving me this opportunity to come on here, and hopefully I won't disappoint any fans. I know they got a lot of fans, Napa does, and Bill McAnally does, so hopefully I can win a championship for everybody that'll be rooting for us.
We want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of the StephenBlakesley.com podcast, and a thanks again to our guest, Sergio Pena. Pena is one of the latest updates to our silly season on StephenBlakesley.com, with additional updates on our SRL Southwest Tour and Wing 360 sections. Log on to StephenBlakesley.com and click the link to Silly Season for more information on the latest driver news in California. A reminder, for the best in short track racing news, you can follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you at the races.